Godfather of West Coast hip hop. Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Pop. And this is how we do it, folks. Hey, it's a Thursday, y'all. We are sitting here live. We are waiting for my guest, the fabulous original Chyna Dahl. She is a former adult film star, performer, turned her life totally around. But we have a history that is like nobody else. No, I wasn't in no movies, but she and I grew up together. And this is her first live feed, so I'm waiting for her to get online right quick. We tested out earlier, so I know she got it down pat. I'm waiting to hear from her. And this sometimes it happens when you go live. Sometimes the guest may be a little tardy, but it's all right, folks. You're live with the West Coast Hip Hop, and let's see what the chat room got to say right quick. And anybody in the chat room yet? They ain't talking to me yet. Y'all mad at me? All right, I'm gonna wait. I see I got some folks on the line. So I'm waiting on my chat room to holler at your boy when you get a chance to. Who's in the chat room? Who is live? Y'all can't hear me, I know. So that's all good. Where my girl at? Come on, baby. All right, y'all. What's up? J. Ross Theory. Yo. What up, Kevin Jenkins? Really Dilly Doe. Is it really though? Yeah. All right. There y'all folks. That's OG Peace. What's up, fella? Robert Thomas in the house. I got Jersey in the house. Yeah, where are y'all from, man? Okay, what's up with you, Doc? How you doing, man? Hanging like a chandelier, just trying to shine. I see you hanging out with your boy Jay King, your cousin Jay King, and my boy, I forgot his name, but they called him Buddy on one of his movies. Buddy. You know, Buddy. He didn't say much, but he got killed at the end of the goddamn movie. Anyway, folks, we are live waiting on my guest to show up, the fabulous original Chyna Dahl. She should be any minute, folks. You know, sometimes it happens like that on a Thursday. Sometimes my folks move a little slower than they're supposed to. Hope she ain't having stage fright, because we are definitely live. Let me check my phone, make sure she's not having any issues. No, I don't see it yet. I don't see any issues on. Check my email, make sure everything is straight. Everything is straight on my end. I'm just waiting for her to tighten up her end and make her appearance. We should be good. We are live. Jersey, man, got love for Lonzo. Man, I appreciate that, man. Darius McCrary, that's his name. Darius McCrary. Yeah. Buddy. I'm trying to go global with this program, Doc. I'm trying to take it to the next level. I'm trying to beat Elon Musk to the moon or wherever else he's going to be. And I'll be sitting there waiting on his ass doing the podcast when they touch down on the moon. You are live with the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop. This is how we do it. Hey, I'm glad to see the Pimp Players and Hustlers Network. Where you been, Doc? You been on punishment? Sometimes they do us like that. Today is one of them days. Boy, y'all wouldn't believe what your boy have to do sometimes just to be the Godfather. They had the refrigerator. You ever been an old? No, you ain't been an old ass man moving the refrigerator. That shit ain't no joke. Thank God I got some young sons to do the heavy lifting. Yeah, I don't like moving, man. I don't like moving nothing but my damn money from one account to another. But sometimes you gotta do some manual labor. And a refrigerator ain't no job. Hey, what's up, boss? B More in the house? All right, shit. Kenny B, much love to you, Doc. I am glad to see all my folks from all over the country touching in with your boy. Much love. Please pass the word, share the link, like the page, like the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000, folks. I've been doing this show for not this show. I've been on YouTube for almost about a year and a half now. I'm still trying to get to that 10,000 mark. So anybody out there that has not hit me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, please, folks, subscribe to the channel. Now, also, let me go and grab some information so we can stay in contact while my girl is getting herself together, because, you know, she's really a stickler for how she looks. So, you know, I understand She fine anyway, but you know how they ain't never fine enough sometimes. This is how you connect with me, folks. Go to your phone. The keyword is Lonzo. In the top of the thing, in the keyword, put Lonzo and text 424 363 8141. I'll get a notification. You'll be on my text list. And every time I got something hot coming up, you'll be notified, even if you don't get it from YouTube or Facebook. So if you want to be down with all things good, all things West Coast, text Lonzo to 424 363 8141, and we will be directly connected. And it's all good, folks. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now, let me get back to my chat room. All right, baby, let me call my girl. See, did she forget about me? Because it's 5 minutes after. Oh, let me see here. Oh, there she go. Oh, yeah, I'm about to call her right now. Oh, she in the bedroom, too. Oh, shit, it's going down, folks. The
Hey,
original Chyna Dahl. Hello, beautiful. How you doing, darling?
I'm great. Thank you. How's it going?
It's going
Sorry.
fantastic. I was about to call you, make sure you ain't forgot about it.
No, sir. I was trying to get these dogs together.
I'm not mad at you. Now, I'm
Yes,
looking at you. You got a beautiful bedroom from what I can see.
yes, that's a little bit true.
Yeah. Got all the pillows, the big
But you can see the
headboard.
boudoir. Yeah.
Now, for those who don't know, this is the original Chyna Dahl. Now, I'm gonna let her tell you her background. She may have some limitations, but she's a pretty straightforward young lady. Tell them your background, will you please? Yeah, it's nice, ain't it? Go ahead.
Hi. So I am the original China doll. So from the 80s, 90s. Um, used to strip back in the day. And I also dabbled in the porn industry. So that's what a lot of people also know me from. But I did feature a lot um, out of state in different places. So just a little bit about myself. I'm a girl that grew up in Compton, California, and came from humble beginnings, but I made it out on the other side. And my humble beginnings also led me to believe that certain things were okay to do, in your life that I just think is not okay. Now that I'm older, let me get this dress straight, honey. This.
Take your time. Take your time. You having the ball watching you fix
Yeah,
yourself, baby.
put it all together.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, that's what's going on with me. So I started out stripping. I was about 19 after my first marriage. Actually, I got married at 17, trying to get out of Compton because my grandmother had passed when I was 15, and it was kind of raised myself because my parents were doing their own thing, and that's how it goes. Um, I did end up doing a good job for myself, though, but I did have to go through a lot of mishaps, uh, uncertainties, banging my head on the same walls a few times before I got it to understand what my calling was and what God's plan was for me. I'm not a religious fanatic, although I was raised in church 4 days a week with my grandmother, but I'm more spiritual. And when you don't know who you are and what your purpose is, then you tend to do a lot of things that aren't good to you, to your soul, to your body. Um, but you don't know the difference if you've never had love and you didn't understand that what you were doing was actually self abuse. You continue to do it. And then that's where I am now on working in Department of Mental Health for the past 19 years because it also comes along with a lot of mental trauma. So once I got some therapy and understood what was going on with me, then I was able to be better for myself. And it also led me to want to help others. And it helped me to understand my parents. They both had drug induced mental illness. So that was their issue. They both chose to do drugs, and it caused them to be not present for me as a child. So,
Okay. Now, there's the other little something also. We grew up on the same street.
yeah,
We are homeboys and homegirls.
yes,
Okay.
we grew up on the same street. I was on a dead end and you was on a corner.
I was on the corner, she was on the dead end. And Dr. Dre lived right down the street. His dad lived down the street. So
Yeah,
um,
that
Carlton
deal.
Avenue, that hole. We lived in a hole. Okay, we literally lived in a hole. Okay, now I don't know if you remember
Mm-hmm.
back in the day or not, baby, but back in the day when we first moved over there, I was born in Compton. I was born on Magnolia. Okay, right off of Wilmington. But we
Okay.
moved over there. We first moved over there. Uh, the houses you had to go down the hill to get to anybody's house, right?
Yeah, yeah,
When we first got there, on when it stormed, it had a hell of a rain. You couldn't come down the hill. You couldn't get in your house because our house, the front door, it never came in the house.
yeah,
But we had to sandbag the front door to keep the water from coming in the house. The whole lawn, everything. My dad would have to park on Main Street, and we'd have to walk down
yeah.
132nd to get to the back
I
door.
remember your dad.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah,
now what's up, Mo Patterson? Now, where you lived on the dead end where they had the horse stables. Okay,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
you, your house, your grandmother's house before the
Yeah,
horse stable.
yep.
Okay. Now, I say
Mm.
these stories because
We
when
had
we
that
grew
alley
up,
in the
we had the alley, we had the atmosphere, we had horses. Sometimes horses would break away from the stables and run down Carlton Avenue, and cowboys would be chasing them and shit. People tell me I'm lying. I tell their stories. You
No,
know
no, no.
what I'm
It's
talking
all
about.
true. It's all true. Yeah. It was a different time back then. We even had gardens in our backyard and stuff, you know.
Yeah, we all
We
had. I
would
grew up
grow
with.
our own foods and it was real country, but it was family.
It was country as hell, but we was call it. We still was in the city.
Yep.
Everybody had a different lifestyle. And one thing I also remembered about Carlton Avenue, what was crazy, just brought this to my attention, that at that time, everybody on that street came from a two-parent household. Think about that.
Yeah, they
Think
did.
about it. Everybody everybody on our block from a two family household. Okay. And
Yeah.
everybody's house was different.
And
You
then
don't
if
know
it
what's
was your
going on in their house.
grandparents.
Right, right. And it just was it was a different time. But I had to say that just to go back a little bit with you, just because we got that connect. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, when you were 17, decided to get married, okay, how did you evolve into the strip game?
So that was a very unfortunate situation. When I was 17 and I got married, he was actually 31. Um,
Whoa.
yeah, so you
Okay.
can really call that pedophilia. But
Okay.
someone did have to sign for me to marry this man. Okay, so that was done. And he lured me in with all the things that you would want, you know. So in the 12th grade, I was driving a Porsche to school, a Cadillac. He had nice cars, he had money. And then one day he got cracked by the feds for embezzlement. I can say that now because he actually had to get extradited about 5 years ago and get back here after 20 something years.
Wow.
However, yeah, he got caught and he was like, well, if you want to continue, you know, for us to be living the way that we're living, then you need to go to work with one of my partner's girls and she's going to show you what you need to do. And so I went to work with her. She got me all made up with my first hair weave and lady dress and high heels and stuff. And I ended up at Charlie's, this place on Florence. I never knew none of these strip clubs were there around, you know? And so I went there and I danced. I did my 3 sets. Hey, Chrissy, I did my 3 sets and I actually got off stage and I fainted in the dressing room. And Miss Bell came in there and she told me I had to get my ass out of her club because I was on drugs. And I was like, I was not on drugs. I've never done anything like this in my life. So after that adrenaline rush, and I realized what I had just did, I passed out. But
Wow.
I went back because the money was so good. You know, I don't know if it was pity money the first night because I really didn't know how to wind and do nothing, but they liked what they saw and the guys looked out. And by the end of the week, I was making good money. So I was like, okay, this is awesome. I'm going to continue to do this and make sure, you know, me and my guy is good. He was doing what he had to do hustle wise. And that was my hustle.
I see my boy Shaq is in the house. What's up, Ken folks? Maurice Patterson in the house. James Robert Black, Chrissy Cat,
Oh yeah,
Candy.
that's my cousin. Hey, Chrissy, Candy, that's my
Thank y'all for tuning in.
mother-in-law.
Okay. Uh, Now you
Hey,
strip,
Mo.
you're making good money, and you take the next step. You get into the adult film industry.
Yeah.
How was that transition?
So I ended up going over to the First King. I went to the Barbie Coast. I danced at Stars, and one of the girls in the industry, her name was Ebony A's. Ebony A's and Nina DePonca. Um, who else worked at the club? It was Ebony A's, Nina DePonca, and a few other girls. Anyway, they asked me to just do a single girl masturbation, that the money would be great. And, they would go with me and it would be nothing to worry about. So I did that. It was pretty easy. I was nervous at first, but I was actually in the room by myself, and it was not like I was doing a movie with anyone else. So, and like I said, the pay was good, and then one thing led from another to another. So I got comfortable with that, and then I went on to meet a few people in the industry, producers and whatnot, that thought I would be a good crossover girl. So I got to do a lot of white. Worked for a lot of white companies, and I did some stuff for Spice Channel and a lot of feature films, and I did a lot of covers. I did a lot of magazines, and was centerfold for magazines covers. So it took off. Back in the day, it was called. I don't even know if they have these books now, because I'm not even into that. Like, I don't even watch porn. When I did it, I didn't watch it because I knew that a lot of the times it was for the money. Definitely for me, it was for the money. It was like,
Okay.
I want to get paid. I want to get paid. Hurry up. I want to get paid. But you have to make it look good. And to me,
Right.
all the work was on the guy, because he was the one that actually had to get it up. For the girls, it was acting. So I'm just not really into the porn. But back then, the books that I did, it was Black Tail. We had Players. There was a lot of different magazines, and then I had a lot of guys that reach out in jail and was like, "Oh, I got your book in jail, and I had let my buddy use it, and he stuck my page." And I'm like, "What, to stick your page?" So it was cool to have
Uh,
some fans and to
Hip hop,
actually.
check this out.
Hmm?
Look, hip hop history. You ever heard of Arabian Prince,
Yeah,
N.W.A?
yeah.
His dad owned the Players magazine.
Oh wow,
His dad was
I
one of
had
them.
no idea.
I
I remember
it's
Arabian Prince. They used to give dances and stuff, big
yeah,
dances,
yeah,
Uncle Jim's Army and whatnot too.
right,
And we would all be
right.
underage scooting in there. Like we used to be
Listen,
underage scooting in your club. we
shut up. So you go from stripping, you go into the adult industry. How long were you in the adult industry?
I dabbled in the adult industry off and on for about 6 years. And
Okay.
throughout the whole time, I only did about 10 or 12 films, because um, I've always been kind of strong minded and strong willed, to where I don't really do good with dictatorships. And so that kind of didn't work too good for me, when it's like you need to do this in order to get to do that.
Okay.
It's going to be who I say to me, and when I say, and how much, and who I
Okay.
choose. Not because I want to get this gig, then I have to sleep with you to get this film, to make this amount of money and whatever. And I knew that I was also an educated young lady. So that didn't fly with me. I was a straight A student in school, and I had to be, or I would get the crap beat out of me when I got
Now
home. That's
here's the
one thing.
funny part. Here's the crazy part. I'm a little older than you, although we
Yeah,
grew up on the same street. At
yeah.
some point in time, the word got out. I don't want to give you a government name, but you know Chyna Dahl. Who? I don't know no Chyna Dahl. Who you talking about? They're
Yeah.
down the street. They're down the street. She doing porn, huh? And they gave me your government name. I say, not her. The glasses. Come on,
Yeah. And I
man.
got in trouble. My uncle Kent, that used to hang with you guys, who is your age, he came down. That's my grandmother's son, and we all live with my grandma. And he was like, "Look at you, you're embarrassing the family, and da 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 da. And you in these magazines, and I gotta hear this shit in the neighborhood." And I said, "So what? I'm in it. I got paid to be in it. But why is it always the question of the person who's in something versus the person that purchased it, or why are they looking at it? Also, why am I the bad guy? Why is it not okay? Well, who did you see it from, and why were they looking at it if it's so bad? I just didn't get that. I've never been ashamed of anything I did to survive and feed myself because I never would hurt anybody else. I may have hurt myself, but I never hurt anybody else. I was not a girl that steal. I didn't set guys up. I didn't go running talking your business for parties and stuff like that. So to me, it was really business, and it was my means of living.
I remember I was really surprised when I started running Jeffy's a few years ago, and Roscoe say, "Hey man, Chyna Dahl coming to the club," and it still didn't register. Ding, ding, it did
Yeah,
not register. And I said, "What's up, baby?" Because I still call you by your government name, okay?
yeah, you can
I
say
don't know,
it.
I don't know
You can
Chyna
say
Dahl.
my
I know the
government name.
government
People
name,
that really know me, when yeah, that's how you know when somebody really know you because they call me by Chantelay.
right?
And so, since I've been in the working white corporate America, I changed it to Chantel because to me, Chantelay was so ghetto.
Okay,
So when people holler Chantelay and I'm in the street, I'll be like, "What the hell?" So they go way back because they either
right,
went to school with me or grew up with me because they know that name.
right. And I'm like, Chantilly, what Chantilly gonna do? Man, then all of a sudden it came back. Oh, that's right. And hey, then I realized that you was a major player in the game, and that
Yeah,
really blew me away. Okay, that you were. I'm
yeah,
like, huh? Because I didn't
yeah.
follow
Have my
that part of your life. Okay,
entourage.
you became a major player in the game. I'm like, are you serious? Then I saw you in action. Like, that's my homegirl. What can I tell you?
Yeah, yeah. I try to be the best at whatever I do. I'm always challenging myself to be better. I don't my competition is never anyone else. It's always with myself because I need to be able to look at me and be okay with it. Regardless to what it is, I always say it's not what you do, it's how you do it. People can do a lot of things, but it's how you carry yourself. And I never would be the girl that want to be drunk and then the next day you're lucky you can't look at people because you did A, B, C, and D, or you sloppy. And I've always carried myself with class and dignity, and I did my work, and I had a lot of girls that worked with me, and I made sure they were the same way.
No drugs, no alcohol when you was working.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that. So
Okay.
my first drug of choice was money, but my second drug of choice was pot. I used to love some weed. I loved to smoke weed when I was young, and I drank a little bit, but I don't do too good with the drinking even now. I'll drink socially when I go out. I got my glass of wine now for my interview, but just like every day to just say, "Oh, I got off work. I had a hard day at work. Let me have a drink." I never wanted the kids to see me drink, so I never drank at home, and I'm here by myself now. So cheers everyone out there that's on their grown up time. So but I never wanted them to see that and use that for an excuse to say, okay, I can have a drink, I had a hard day at work. Or I can have a drink, someone pissed me off. I've always wanted them to grow up learning how to deal with life head on. So about in 2000, or yeah, about 299, I actually stopped smoking weed. So that's 20 something years ago when I got pregnant with my middle son, and I was pregnant 2 years in a row. So I just never went back to it. And that's what helped me to open my eyes to see that you can deal with life head on. You don't need to self medicate because all it was doing was prolonging what the issue is until the next day, until you're not high anymore. And then, you have to still deal with it.
Okay, I see. I got some new folks in the house. Mr. Jeffers in the house. Akim. I think it's Akim Jeffers. What's up, Doc? James Robert Black. What's up with you? And D Smooth. What's up, Linwood? I'm sorry, Compton resident, Linwood graduate. Um,
Mhm.
if a young lady came to you and told you a story and says, "Hey, would you recommend that I follow in your footsteps?" What would you tell her?
Never, never. I would not recommend this lifestyle to anyone because everybody don't make it out on the other side the same. And I was fortunate enough to, but I know a lot of girls in the porn industry and in the stripping industry that some are still actually stripping. Some are not here. Some got on drugs really bad, end up in jail, and are just lost in the streets and prostituting in the streets and stuff. It can lead to a lot of different things if you're not a super strong person. If you're in it for the minute. Some girls do go to school and they hustle to take care of themselves, and they get out the business, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, it's just like drugs. Some people can smoke crack and be on crack forever, like live longer than you, and still walking around smoking crack. And some people smoke it and they don't make it. So you never know what your fate is going to be. This person can call themselves a casual social smoker. And then you got other people that are, all out druggies. I've never been the one. That's why I never tried crack, because I saw it take down some of the best people. And I said, I never want to think I'm that person and then I'm over here. But no, I wouldn't recommend it to young girls. Find out what else you're good at, because we all have gifts. God gave us all our own special gifts, and what one person is good at may not be your gift. So don't compare your gift to someone else's. Don't try to live for what society says or what other people think. You have to really dig in deep into you and see what's going to make you happy. What's going to make you want to get up every day and feel productive, and focus on that and master your craft at that.
Now, I'm glad you said that. I was curious what your answer was. Now, compared to compared to the strip game that you were in 20 years, 20 years ago?
It's been more than that long. So
Okay.
it's been
Uh,
25, almost 30 years ago, because
okay.
I am 51 now, and I started
Okay.
dancing when I was 19.
Who, how would you compare what you did back in the day to today's ladies in the game? Is it a big difference?
Absolutely. From what I'm hearing, it's a
What's,
totally big difference in those clubs. And I don't want to be hypocritical, because I did work there, but when I heard that the Barbary Close had closed down,
mm,
I was so excited. Then the First King closed down. I was, and then Stars. And I was like, great, because it's lessening the chances for these girls in the area that I grew up within to have an outlet so close, and you only got to be 18 to change your whole fucking life from going from a kid to in these grown up shoes.
I know why Barbie Close got closed down. I remember a few times. Now, I'm not a big strip club
Mhm.
patron, but one of the times I was in there, a good buddy of mine, an actor buddy of mine, was sitting next to me. Lonzo, watch my back. Why?
Wow.
I'm gonna knock this off right quick. I'm like, huh? And I'm sitting in the back on the side, and the girl sat in her lap. She pulled her underwear to the side. Next thing I know, they going at it in the
Mhm.
club cracking,
Yeah.
and club cracking. Okay, club is
Yeah.
cracking. Like, come on, man, why you put me in that shit? Oh man, ain't gonna take long. I just got home. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It happened all the time. It happened all the time in there. And then to me, that's kind of idiotic though, because on the girls' part, because you still have to pay the house. You're paying every table dance to the club. You're paying a percentage. When I stopped dancing back in like 2000, we were paying like $65 a night to work. And then
Okay.
we paid, the table dances were like $20, and I think we paid like seven off of that, off of each dance. So it was still pimping another way, by the
Hmm.
club rights to me. But I just didn't understand why you want to be doing that in the club, and then you're still having to pay the house when you
Right.
can go. I don't want to be suggestive, but I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
'Cause I did private parties when you could just go across the street, and they have hotel rooms by the hours, 3 hours, whatever. Get all of your money, keep all of your money, and have you a
Right.
regular client instead of getting thrown out of the club for doing, getting suspended for doing that, and having to give the club your money off of outside work you're doing.
Okay. Now we talked about your early life. We talked about you, how you got in the game. How'd you get out of the game?
I got out of the game because I was in my living room. I was living in Inglewood then. And it was about 2 weeks straight. I was in my living room with my arms stretched to God on my knees every evening, praying before I would go to that club. God, show me what else you have for me because I can't do this another day. I can't fake, I can't pretend, I can't bullshit another day with these guys. Nothing personally to the guys there because you guys came and supported. And that's how I survived. But they have issues too. And so you're their therapist. You have to hear about what goes on in their house or what their wife is doing or not doing. And, it can be draining when I just want to go and make my money. It's a business. It's a business. We file taxes on it. It's a business. I am there to work and entertain. You don't want to go to work and not get paid. So I
Right.
really did not feel like sitting. So then I would have to say, hey, well, if I'm going to have to sit here, you got to pay me per table dance still because I'm missing out on dances. But it is some very nice people in there that come in there too.
Mm.
There will be some very nice gentlemen that will come in the club that could also lace you with a lot of game business wise too. Not just street stuff, but they would tell you some good stuff. It was some good businessmen coming in there. But I prayed to God that I couldn't do it again. And I met my kid's father on a blind date. My girlfriend, Mercedes Ashley, was dating a friend of his. And she asked me to meet her over there. We were going to go do some work. And I met him the first time. I really didn't care for him because he looked kind of square compared to the people we grew up around. And I was like,
Okay.
well, I don't know about that. So I went back and met him again, met her there again, and he had on his little sweats and was more, comfy, casual. And I was like, okay, this might work. And from that time, he asked me out on a date, and we were just like inseparable from
Mm.
that day on. And when I told him what I did, he was like, no, ma'am, that's not going to work. If we're going to be together, you can't do that. And I was like, well, I had one kid that was like 6 years old, and he was in private school and Christian Catholic school. I had my bills to pay, my rent, my car note, everything. I said, I got so much overhead, I can't just jump out and not do anything because you want me to be your girl. That's not going to work. He told me write a list of my bills for the month, and he had me, and he stood to that. He said, just find out who Sean is, find out who she is and what she wants to do, and that allowed me to go back to school. And he wasn't old or a trick. He was 3 years older than me. He had just been he was an engineer for 12 years. So
Right.
he realized early on that he needed to make money because he came from humble beginnings, but he chose to do it in a different way because men had to do things in a different way. And he stood up as a man, courting a woman, and he saw past, you know, what I was doing when I met him. He saw who I could be. And I had 2 kids with him, and we were together for almost 10 years. And yeah, he allowed me to go to school and just figure out who I am. It
That's a
just,
hell of a story
yeah.
right there. That's a
Yeah.
hell of a story. Man. I heard this
Hmm.
story. I wanted you to tell this story on my show. I heard it before on my boy's show when you did fresh. But I want you to tell that story because that's a real player move right there. Okay, I love you, I like you, and I got you. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with
Hmm.
that. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Okay, and but I got to ask, why did he end after 10 years?
Well, he kind of changed when I started to find out who I was and what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to just have babies anymore and continue going to school and going to school. So I think it kind of made him nervous. He said that he was afraid that I would find somebody with more money than him or more well endowed. And I'm like, hey, if that was the case, you should be with me. I wouldn't want to be with somebody for the thought of them being with me for what I have. We've been together too long for that. But it just got to be a little crazy and a little controlling. And I don't do well with that.
Yeah, you told me today that you were Sagittarius. I get all that.
Yeah,
I
I cannot.
understand
I can't do
all that.
controlling. I think we're equals, as individuals, and we need to be treated as that. I don't need a dad. My dad has passed on. He passed on when he was 52, and I didn't have great memories with him. My dad. The story with that was, when I was 11. Before then, he used to lock me and my mom in the house. So that was not a good thing. So I have issues with that. I don't like being confined. I don't like people really trying to control me and tell me what to do, because that's not what a relationship is about. And it just gave me flashbacks of that I was no longer a free person. And simple things matter to me now. When people like, oh, well, that's, something simple. Just every morning, me getting up, going to my front door, unlocking my front door, and just being able to step out on the porch,
Mm.
because we had deadbolts inside and out. We couldn't do that. I
Wow.
was locked in the house until he let us out. And
Wait,
I remember a time at 7 when me and my mom hitchhiked, we snuck out the bathroom window.
wait, wait,
So,
wait, 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 wait. You did what? You had to hitchhike
mhm, we
from
had to
where?
hitchhike from Watts. We were staying on the 105 freeway is there now, off of Wilmington. So it was duplex is right there, and so that's where we lived at. And my dad was cutting up, and then when he left and he locked us in, and so my mom told me we were going to leave, because I'm an only child. So she told me we are going to leave, but we were going to go through the bathroom window. So we went out the bathroom window after my dad left, and we hitchhiked from Watts by Martin Luther King to Compton to the APs where my grandma lived. And so I was 7 years old, and she was telling me, do your thumb like this. And it was so funny because the guy that picked us up was somebody that she had went to Centennial with years back.
Wow.
So she felt pretty safe for us to get in the car with him. And I just said, that's how God works. He always sends angels, to make sure we got to where we needed to get to safely. But in all of that, when my dad found out where we were that night, he came to my grandma's house, and he threw a brick through the window that my mom was sleeping in. And he came through the window and drug her in the living room and was stomping her in her stomach and everything. And so my grandfather got up, and he's an old army vet. So that
Right.
didn't end
No
good.
joke.
My granddaddy was in his underwear shooting at my dad out that front door and down the street.
Wow.
Literally, he was shooting at him for beating. But that wasn't enough, because guess what? My mom drug us back there. We went back until my dad ended up shooting my mom. The bullet grazer here, so she always wears a bang. And I think that was like when enough was enough. And that me living in all that dysfunction was what let me think it was okay to grow up in certain things. I didn't have a fear of a lot of things, because I had been through so much early on, that when you don't know any different, because this is what you become immune to. So
Mm.
I didn't have a fear of talking to people I didn't know, or going to a party for somebody I don't know, because I always carried a gun, and I just always knew that if I had to fight, I would fight. I didn't care if it was a guy or a girl, because the first person I ever fought was my dad, which was a man.
Ooh. The first person you ever fought was your dad?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Now that's deep.
because he was beating my mom in the street. By the curb. And so there was a Coca Cola bottle. Back then, it was the glass bottles. And I took that Coca Cola bottle and I broke it over his head. And then when I was 11, he tried to molest me. So yeah, the first man
Huh?
I ever fought was my dad, and he really gave me to have a lack of respect for men in a lot of ways. And then I had to understand that every man is not my dad. That's a sick mind. And I had to give people a chance. And then I found brothers that loved me dearly, like Zale, who stayed on the end where you were.
OJ, OG. Love
Oh,
him to death.
Zale. Yeah, that was my boyfriend when I was like 15, 16 years old. And he protected me to no end. I never felt safer than when I was with him, regardless to if he was a murderer or a dope dealer or whatever. I never felt unsafe with him, and it didn't matter. He always made sure I was good. He made sure I got to school. If he only had $100 in his pocket, he gonna make sure I had 50. That's
Mm.
just how he was. But he was older, but I was used to, I think, looking for older guys because of the dad that I didn't have. I was looking for that security and protection from them.
Wow. You just brought back a memory. Zale.
Yeah,
Zale.
yeah, Warren Haywood.
In some cats he was younger than me.
Yeah,
He was younger than me. My brother Randy ran with Zale.
yeah,
He
I remember
spoke
your brother Randy and your sister Cynthia.
he spoke so highly of Zell. And like I said, Zell was always cool because he was a youngster. You know, I ain't an old, I'm a junior OG,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
I'm a junior OG on the block. Your mom and Kent, or your mom and your auntie and Dre's dad, they all the OGs. I'm a
yeah,
junior OG, okay?
yeah.
And these guys, these back then, and these guys was, like you said, they was notorious gangsters for real.
Hmm.
Okay, for real. Got bodies all got bodies. Okay,
Yeah, he's
but if
gone now. We could say that he's dead now. So
if, if
we
they
can.
liked you, could nobody do nothing to you.
Mm,
Okay, if they was on your good side, okay, anybody that was on your bad side had a problem.
right.
Okay, if these guys, and people ask me how did I survive on Avalon Segundo all them years without having a problem. All the guys who would give me a problem, that would cause a problem, they like me. So they didn't nobody else mess with me. Okay.
Hmm.
All the guys that would, if they were them, they were going to be the ones to do it. Okay. And if you was on, if they considered you one of the homies, ain't
Yeah.
nobody gonna mess with you. It ain't
Yeah.
gonna happen. Okay. Some folks asked, a couple of late people just stepped in. Who was my guest today? My guest is the original Chyna Dahl, my homegirl from Carlton Avenue, lived at the Dead End, watched her grow up. We got apart for a while, but we
Yeah.
reconnected. And once I heard her story on another interview, I said, I got to bring her on my show. I got to bring her
Yeah.
on my
I was
show.
on Fresh Out series,
Yes,
and it was
yes.
a three
Now,
part interview. Hmm.
you and my man from Fresh Out, y'all go back too.
Yeah. Me and Big
Y'all,
Herc.
you're a big Herc, okay?
Yeah.
Herc got a little history, okay?
Yeah,
Uh,
we actually dated when we were in the industry, and so we did a lot of work together. We would opt to do work together.
okay. Now that was just a physical attraction, or just he had something that you like, or you had something he liked, and
All
y'all
of
did
it.
work.
All of
Okay,
it. And he was such a great person. I didn't understand how he got there. He didn't understand how I got there because he's so smart. He has such a great heart. Um, and he ended up doing, a bit crazy things and robbing the bank and all that stuff. And but I did a few crazy things too, and we both ended up there doing that. And we both were straight A students. So it's just you never know who's doing what and why, the backside of it. But yeah, he and I have history, and I did his show because
okay.
I was in a business for a while. I did do some work when I was there. I won an AVN award and stuff, but I
Did
did
you?
also go to Reputation Defender and take down a lot of things because I had kids, after that. And I didn't want them being teased or people
Wait,
just
wait,
being
wait.
able to Google
Hold on.
everything.
What's Reputation Defender? What's that?
Reputation Defender is a service that you can do, and they can go on to the internet, and there's different things that come up when you Google a person's name. So you
Mhm.
won't find a lot of adult films for me when you Google it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Some things will pop up, but the Players Club will pop up because I did the Players Club.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
What?
Yeah, I was on that set for like 12 days, and I got the hookup that pops up. The Last Dawn, that's by Master P. I got the hookup original one, and The Last Dawn is by Master P. Those things pop up because that's a little something different.
Okay.
But when you're going to get jobs and things like that and getting into the real corporate America, sometimes they do background. Sometimes they do Google your name, and some people do care about your past, and then some people don't. I was working for gay and lesbian adolescent social services for 10 years. And my ex-husband, number two, he got mad because we were breaking up. I wanted to leave, and he threatened that he was going to call my job and let him know that I did adult film in the past and this, that, and the other. And so I had to go to one of the higher ups that I knew personally and let him know. And she told me that it didn't matter. She said, "Do you know how many people that work here have passed? You
Right.
know, and lives before now?" She said, "We only care about what you're doing now, and you're here helping these kids from 12 to 18 to have a better life. who were in group homes and stuff that nobody wanted because they were gay. So a lot of foster homes didn't want them there because they figured that they would turn their kids gay or, different things. So these kids had humble beginnings as well. We would go up to Sylmar and pick a lot of them up from juvenile hall and things like that and help them to just get the counseling they needed to have a stable home to stay in, and they could stay there until they was 18. Or if they went to school or work, then we had transitional housing where they could stay until they were 21 years old,
Okay.
and transitional housing until they were 24. So I saw a lot of good things happen working with the kids, and that's what I've always chose to the field to be in, to help them kids to come from lesser than, to let them know that they have support, that they are enough, that they do matter. I remember they would all want to give me pictures to put on my wall. One kid gave me a picture and I put it up. And then it
Okay.
started a whole wall. Everybody wanted to have, a picture on
Okay.
Miss Chantel's wall. It made them feel special. And so I did that because certain small things, matter. But that's just how I am from being that child and not having attention and no I love yous and nobody hug you when you're young. I totally understand what it means. Just how you doing today, how that can help people. Like someone actually even cares. Just seeing someone and giving them a smile and watching them just give you a smile back with no words, just that telepathy taking place. That, what, I'm in a house full of people every day and nobody asks me how am I doing. And she said, how am I doing? Or people, my husband's grouchy all day, or my wife is grouchy all day,
Hmm.
and she saw me and she just smiled and said, hi. That changed their mindset for a minute.
Hmm. You got one of the guys asked, where do you keep your AVN board? You still keep it?
No, sir.
Okay. No, Doc, you don't have it no more. And
No.
go ahead. We got a few questions about Centennial. One guy, my man, Pimp Players and Hustlers Network says you are beautiful for 50 years old. It's and
Yes, she's 51. She'll be
you
52 this year. Thank you.
you'll be 52 this year.
Yeah, I'm a 60s baby
Wow,
too. This is the 60s
wow,
babies.
wow, that's
Hmm.
amazing. I'm looking at the screen here. Thanks for sharing the testimony, beautiful queen. This is this could preach a whole sermon. Yeah. You know what? This is why I do the kind of show that I do. I'm not gonna sit there and do a bunch of fluffy bullshit. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not me. Anybody knows me. I'm not a bullshit person. I like to
Yeah.
bullshit with you, but I'm not a bullshit person. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
bullshitter. I like to tease and joke and have a good time, but I don't do bullshit. Okay,
Right.
and
It's reality. This is so many
it's
people's lives that their story is not told, or they're embarrassed to tell
right,
people that this happened to me for the way they're going to be viewed. Well, guess what? If somebody's judging you, you don't need to be around them because there is no perfect person. There is no perfect person, and you don't know what you don't know until you realize you don't know it.
right.
Then you choose to start being accountable and doing better. That's how life works. And I feel sorry for people that never experienced anything because guess what? They don't have anything to compare goodness to
Yeah,
or
so
to be
that's a
grateful
very
for.
good point. That's a very good point.
Just to
That's
be grateful, to wake up every morning in gratitude.
if you never had anything bad, you don't know what good is.
You
Okay,
don't. You don't
okay.
know genuinely how good it feels to have something great happen in your life, to feel that God never gave up on you, that He's no respecter
Hmm.
of person, that I can still continue to start anew each day I wake up and my feet hit the floor. That's what I say. Every day you open your eyes, that's your first win of the day, period. So you go from there. But when you live in gratitude and you continuously want to learn, I've been to school so many times. I'm in school now for hypnotherapy at Southwest University of Healing. I'm taking that now. But I took medical insurance billing and coding. That's what I did when I stopped dancing. And then I went back in 2008 for drug and alcohol counseling. Then I went back in 10 for psychology. I went back in 12 to get a refresher on the billing. Then I went for quality assurance coordinator. Now I'm finishing up my hypnotherapy degree. I mean, my psychology degree with hypnotherapy, because we have so much trauma that people don't know this stuff can be embedded so deep in you. But hypnotherapy really work. It can even walk you back to past lives and have you understand. And I got into that because it happened to me, and they had me walk. I was out. And it had me to walk me back to the house. It said, go back. Well, it was a house for me, but to the place where certain things happened to you, which were beyond your control. And it made you go back there and relive all these things while your eyes are closed and you're in a light sleep. How did you feel at that moment? What transpired? Okay. Were you able to protect yourself? No. Okay. So then we have to let those things go, because
Okay.
that part of our life has happened. Then it walks you back up to where you are now. How strong do you feel now? What things have changed for you now. So it's teaching us to let the past go, because we'll hold on to that. It'll keep us from living in the future. And people
Okay.
have problems. That has not the things that happened to me growing up. It's nothing to do with me. It was not my fault. It's where my parents chose, things for me. And as I got older, I saw that bad decision making and I continued it. But guess what? I prayed about it, and God showed me in my own time that He has so much more planned for me. He showed me to just love myself first, because when you don't love yourself, it's all this is so easy to do. And
Hmm.
so when I started to love myself and value myself, a lot of bullshit I cut out of my life because it could no longer go on. It wasn't serving me, and it did not feel good to my soul and my spirit.
Ooh, babe, you know what? I'm looking at the chat room. They are loving you in the chat room. Can you see it from where you are? They are loving you in the chat room. What type of spirituality do you have?
Spirituality. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just into spirituality, God, source, the universe, things like that. I am not a person that's religious, because I think God is everywhere, and He hears us all. We don't need a mediator to get to Him. I don't need to go sit at church every day, because I have a personal relationship with Him and I actually hear Him. And when I was in church and growing up, I have nothing against the church, because whatever works for you, however you get it, whatever works for you to feel that you're reaching Him, you do that. But when I discovered spirituality, it worked for me better,
Okay.
because I believe what you put out into the universe, whatever you ask, God, source, universe, it's going to be done. We have to believe that, and we step out on faith. It's the same with religion, but you don't have faith and then you worry. Those two things don't go together. You have to believe that it's done, and it's done. And it may not be in your time, because God has it for everybody what He wants us to have. You may want something super large, and He say, hey, this person's still a fool. They're not ready for that right now. I can't give you this because you'll screw it off. And the next person, He said, I have to give you this to screw it off. So when it comes around again for you, you'll appreciate it if you're not a fool. So I'm with spirituality and believing. Like I said, it's just belief. And I read my Bible for myself. And I know God is no respecter of person. He forgives. So He doesn't care what I did. You know, that was all in the plan.
I got a question.
Side,
I got a
so I
question.
other people. Mm-hmm.
That one of the brothers asked Harley. I remember I danced with you one night at the club, and you
Huh?
forget. I don't know what you went for. How tall are you?
How tall am
Can
I?
you hear me? Yeah.
I hear you now. Yeah, you said he said what happened? Oh my
How
goodness.
tall are you?
Oh, I'm 5'8" and a half.
5'8" and a half.
Yeah.
Because me dead in the forehead. Okay. And I'm 5'11".
I
I'm
had on
5'11", 3/4.
shoes.
Oh,
I
okay. All
had on
right.
some
But she five.
heels.
She
Yeah, a
five. She
lady likes to
5'8".
put on some heels.
I ain't mad at you. Okay.
Yeah, a lady likes
Uh,
to put on some heels.
I ain't mad.
I
That's
can't wear the
I'm.
stilettos like I used to, but a girl will put on a good wedge right now. I'll put on a good wedge. I
You
ain't
gotta.
putting
You
on
gotta
no
be careful.
stilettos and everybody get a grand finale and I fall and they have the greatest laugh of their life. No, sir.
All right, Donna. Tell us. I mean, this has really been an enlightening interview. Sometimes when you talk to people that know how to talk to people, you learn something while you interviewing people. Okay, and
Mm.
I'm listening. I'm looking at my chat room, and they are they are loving this. They laugh, and I'm looking. You can see it. I'm quite sure you can see it yourself. And
Yeah, I see it
need
popping
to
up
get
on the
the
side there.
PC Players Club program from Arabian Prince. No, I'm gonna leave that alone. It's good to be able to talk to somebody, and and as you know, I ran a strip club. People don't know. I She and I have a lot of the same things. I just have been on the business end. I was involved
The boom boom
slightly,
room.
huh?
The
I
boom
was
boom room.
Yeah, the boom boom room. I was doing. I ran the boom boom room. Okay, I've been in.
I worked up there too.
In the porn business. I never did any films, but I rented my studio to a buddy of mine who was
Mm.
doing movies, and it was always
Yellow was starting to do movies too.
Yella started doing them right here. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Yella when he started doing this porn movie, his movies. He came to me to rent the studio, and if you come to my studio right now, I still never painted it. We painted
Mm.
each wall a different color so that you could see when you all we did was change the furniture around and you could see a different room, different color, different wall, and that's what we did to get by when he first started doing this. And
Yeah.
it always amazed me the different women that would come to see him, and I would be surprised, like, huh? And it always surprised me the women that came to see him. I'm like, you come to see Yella? Oh, you come to see Yella?
Yeah. Yeah.
it
He
was
had
it,
it going.
some of the squarest looking women,
Yeah.
some of the most librarian looking chicks. You come to do who? What? And then every once in a while I peep my head in, say, oh shit.
Okay. Going down.
I need to get a book. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dirty World, what's up with you folks? Dirty World. Yella was so punctual. I don't know what that means. Punctual
Then
is
he's
the word.
cracking up, so it must be something funny.
Yeah. Hey, folks, we almost about to wrap this up. We gotta. I try to do an hour interview, and this one right here it really is going to be hard to keep this into an hour, but I'm gonna try and stay on my own schedule. I got
And
about 4 minutes left. Anybody in the chat room have any questions for the original Chyna Dahl? Please step to the chat room now. Let's see what they got to say for you. What they want to ask you.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm hoping.
Yellow had Lonzo's house smelling like
The animal
I got everybody on my feed got jokes. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, they make it fun for me to do this show because I interact with them so much, and we ain't got comfortable. I know him if you walked in here right now, but it's all good. Are you still married?
Right. No, I am not married. I have been divorced since 2010.
Would you get married again?
Absolutely. It won't be that easy, but yes, I definitely would get married again. I love the way love feels. I love to give love. I love to be love. I am a freaking hopeless romantic. I'm just not a fool.
Okay.
Because a girl does pretty well for herself. I am a quality assurance auditor for the Department of Mental Health now. So I have something to bring to the table. I make good money for myself, and I have a comfortable home and nice car. I'm good, and my inside is great. First of all, that's what I
Okay.
bring aside from the BS. You
Okay.
know, so yeah, I am. I'm interested in dating, but I am an intentional dater. I'm not interested in booty call dating.
Okay.
So that doesn't work for me.
They
It don't
want
get
they.
no better than what you already have. We need to have a soul connection. So whether we're in bed or not, we can still enjoy each other.
I understand. Give them your YouTube channel. They're looking for you on social media.
YouTube channel is the THEE China CHYNA DAHL underscore NUJOURNEY. The Chyna Dahl underscore New Journey. That's my YouTube channel. And on IG is China Conscience New Journey. I don't have a Facebook.
Yeah. I saw that new journey. What's that about? That's your transition from where you come from to where you are now, or
Absolutely. Yeah, because you know what? The way I was living before, I was living unconsciously. I was pretty much existing and going with the flow, and I wasn't living intentionally. You know, it
mm,
became routine.
mm,
So, living routinely can be very boring, it could be very non productive. And so when I had my awakening to, like I said, to myself, then I said, I'm going to be on a new journey. Every day, I want to do something productive. I want to help others. I just want to be a great person in general.
okay,
And so you have to be, when you're unconscious, you can't make great decisions. But when you're conscious, you're pretty much always mindful, and it's not always about you, you, you. You move out of the presence of ego,
okay.
you know. And so that's where I am now.
All right. With that being said, we can put this show to bed, darling. Thank you very much for your
Hakeem
time.
Jeffers. That's
Huh?
who I married. Who is Hakeem Jeffers? That one of your friends? I don't
Uh,
know this person because I don't have Facebook. But you guys go over and follow me, and I love to answer any more questions that you have. Send me friend request, and I'll follow you back on IG. Follow me, I'll follow you back. That's China Conscience New Journey on IG. Once again, I don't have Facebook in my YouTube. Lonzo's going to put a link in here too. So.
all right, folks. You just met the original Chyna Dahl, my home girl, my friend. We go back like Cracker Jacks, baby. Carlton Avenue. That's how we did it. In the meantime, folks, like I say every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks, from concerts in the park to Eve after dark. Your boy still doing it, folks. All right, thank you, baby. We out of here, folks. Thank you, chat room. Much love to you, folks. I will see you next time, folks. We out of here. Peace.
Peace.